You're with us here on a fresh new edition of Trading Hour, Thursday morning. The market's down about 30-odd points, and there isn't very much in terms of news flow to tackle at this point in time. Global markets were a bit tentative. I mean, overnight US markets were under pressure. Asia is a bit patchy. I mean, there is no real across-the-board move that we are seeing in one direction, and that is being reflected here as well. I think the bigger story is essentially what we saw yesterday and the way the market collapsed yesterday. And I mean, I think it left people wondering whether the market was telling you something about a bigger, a change in the trend or something of that sort. There have also been lots of fears about growth slowdown. The Chinese data came through earlier this week as we came back into trade. That's the Chinese PMI numbers into contraction territory. Actually, if you look at it, about 50% of all emerging market PMI numbers for the month of December are in contraction territory. Another 50% of the emerging market PMI numbers are down in December as compared to November. We also had the PMI numbers out of the US, which actually showed a bit of a dip in the month of December. Although that is not tracked very closely, the more closely tracked number out of the US is the ISM number, which we get later tonight. So that will be closely watched. But I mean, I think the general sense which is building as we get into 2019 is that the slowdown is starting to become real. You saw that guidance cut from Apple citing slowdowns in China, etc. So I think the market and the steep sell-off that we saw in the US market towards the end of 2018 and people linking that to fears of real growth slowdown are now showing up in some numbers at least. High frequency numbers, initial sense, but that's what we've got at this point in time. Ekta, morning.
Hi Prashant. Yes, absolutely. And the auto sales which we got yesterday was a clear disappointment. But nonetheless, it is definitely a sluggish day for us as well. So the Nifty has slipped below its 200-day moving average. It's trading below those levels at this point in time. And we have the mid-cap index, which is just about holding its head above the water. So let's see whether it manages to build on gains. But nonetheless, we have a lot of stocks in focus. So obviously, Bank of Baroda would be top of mind post that swap ratio, which has come out. So that stock is up around 1% with Dana and Vijaya. So those two stocks should come up for you as well. BPCL, HPCL seeing some amount of sluggishness on account of Brent crude prices possibly hovering at around $54 per barrel. Vodafone Idea, because of the subscriber data, so that stock is down around 2%, 35 rupees for that stock now. And something like a Jet, which is seeing pressure in today's trade as well, continuing from yesterday. So that stock is down around 3%. But a lot to discuss. And let's kick off the show with the technicals and a call from Sudarshan Sukhani this morning. Sudarshan, over to you. What would you recommend, both index as well as in terms of stocks?
Yeah, good morning again. Well, my recommendation for the index is a little courageous and brave. I would feel that markets are likely to find support at the 10,700, 10,750 zone, which is where they are now. Therefore, leave apart today when we can have a lot of volatility. There is a case to be made for buying the Nifty and the Nifty Bank. Now, you use call options rather than futures to protect yourself from volatility. But be on the long side. Don't expect rewards today and tomorrow. The rewards likely are to come next week. But I would still be a buyer at these low levels.
What would you be buying, Sudarshan? Stocks?
Well, individual stocks are mainly mid-caps. Colgate is a buying opportunity. Colgate, Dabur, Marico, all the FMCG stocks are doing well. So consider buying Colgate. Similarly, consider buying Tata Elxsi. Mid-cap and IT is again an outperformer. So we are focusing on sectors which are outperforming today and for the next few days. Colgate, Tata Elxsi are buys, and Coal India is a short sell. That short sell is only intraday.
Fair enough. We will get some questions to you as well. By the way, there is the SR Steel case, the NCLAT, and that's what's coming in. NCLAT says that there have been adjournments without any reason, and it says that the appellate tribunal is directing finishing arguments and passing orders by an early date. That is what is coming in from the NCLAT, the appellate tribunal, to the NCLT, Allahabad bench, which is actually hearing this particular court. So we'll try and speak with maybe Ashmit on this with more details if he has any. But Sudarshan, here's the question from a viewer. Amit Sharma wants to know if Biocon and Aurobindo Pharma are good buys at the current price levels for a period of 10 to 15 years. Wow. You don't get that time frame at all. What would you say?
Well, you're right. That's a very unusual time frame. And no one knows what will happen in 10 to 15 years. So I would say that for the next 3 years, Oro Pharma and Biocon are both buying opportunities. Just think of a 3-year time horizon and we'll see after that.
Okay, just think of a 3-year time horizon and we will decide what happens. Yes, absolutely. 10 to 15 years is quite a long time frame. But Sudarshan, thanks very much for that. And viewers, do remember to tweet your questions to us at CNBC TV 18 News and at CNBC TV 18 Live with the hashtag #AskCNBC TV 18. And our technical experts, as always, will be advising you on your investments.